quick revision questions on the trigonometry before the board examinations. So let us quickly start without wasting that much of time. Okay, the question, before attempting the questions of trigonometry, the few basic things which we need to just recall immediately before the session is that if you remember the right angle triangle, basically the concept of trigonometry is applicable, and then we need to understand two things. Okay, whenever a right angle triangle is given to you, sorry, whenever a right angle triangle is given to you, right, and definitely you know the sum of all angles of a triangle is 180 degree, then in trigonometry we use the concept that yes, the sum of all the angles is 180 degree, and the angle which is one of the angle of the triangle which is theta, then opposite to it is your perpendicular p, and the longest side of the triangle is hypotenuse, right, h, and bc is the base, right, the third side which is remaining is the base, right. So my dear friends, apart from this is the first thing which you need to understand and recall, and another is the Pythagoras, which is p a square plus b a square equal to h a square. Okay, so these applications will be used, right. Now after this, if I will say that quickly coming to the trigonometrical identities, then you need to remember 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, and 90 degree. These values you need to remember. For the trigonometrical ratios, which are the trigonometrical ratios which need to be remembered? The ratios which you need to remember is sine, cos, tan, right? And opposite to sine is cosec, opposite to cos is sec, and opposite to tan is cot. That you need to remember quickly, right. Apart from this, the values which you need to remember for all this is that for sine, just remember the five values: 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, the five values you just need to remember is sine 0 is 0, sine 30 is 1 by 2, sine 45 is 1 by root 2, sine 60 is root 3 by 2, and sine 90 is 1. If you are able to remember this one, only five values I am asking to remember, nothing more than that. Then with these values you are able to solve each and every question with related to sine, cos, tan, cosec, sec, cot, everything, right. Now my dear friend, if this is sine, then opposite to it is cosec. Okay, so just put up the values of cosec, right. If this is known to you, then what is cos? For the cos, just remember that whatever is the value of sine 90, this will go into the 0 degree value for this cos. So cos of 0 degree will be nothing but 1, right. Similarly, cos of 60, just crisscross all the values over here. Cos 45 and sin 45 both are 1 by root 2, right, like this. And cos of 90 degree will be sine 0 over 0, cos of 90 degree will be 0, right. So if you are knowing all these values, you are able to solve each and every questions into the trigonometric, well, the trigonometrical values are being asked, right. Now apart from this, another thing which I need to just ask you to recall, if you are knowing sine, if you are knowing cos, then sine by cos is tan, then you are able to calculate the values of tan also, right. And correspondingly the corresponding values opposite to sine will be cosec, cos of opposite to cos will be sec, opposite to tan will be cot. So all this will be with you. Now you are having all these values with you. Now quickly coming to the question, suppose there is, and also remember the concept of complementary angles. What is complementary? Complementary is that when one angle is added with another one, it will making a 90 degree, right. And for supplementary, this will be coming as 180 degree, right. Now for supplementary, this one be coming as equal to 180 degree. And also remember all angles of a triangle. Sum of all angles of a triangle is equal to 180 degree. Sum, it's a sum. Okay. So these three things also you need to remember, right? Now, apart from this, if you are coming to the question directly, okay, and one more thing which I want to revise, just that you will revise, is that sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta, and cos of 90 minus theta is sin theta, right? Okay. Now, and sec 90 minus theta is cosec theta, and like that. Okay, tan 90 minus theta is cot theta. So all that you remember, I'm assuming. Okay, now quickly coming to the question. The first question which we can take for today is from the trigonometrical identity. What is the first question which can take? That let us say the value of, find the value of tan 1 degree, tan 2 degree, tan 3 degree, dot 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 tan 89 degree, right? This is not to find, just we need to prove this as equal to 1. So if this question, such questions are coming to you, you can see the angles are changing with value 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree until 89. So you are making a you are just making a pair of this angle, and we will be using the concept of complementary over here, right? How? Because we know that 1 plus 89 is nothing but 90, right? We know that 2 plus, before 89 it will be 88, right? So 2 plus 88 will be equal to 90, right? Similarly, it will be 3 plus 87 is equal to 90 degree, right? So we will be using this concept of complementary angle to solve it, right? Okay, okay. So if we are knowing the concept, this concept using the complementary angle, then definitely apply it over here. Then tan 1 degree, leave it as it is, multiplied with, if you just make a pair of the tan 1 degree and tan 89 degree like this, right? Then what you will see, tan 1 degree can be written as it is, and tan 89 degree can be written as tan of 90 minus 1, isn't it? Because you know that sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. Similarly, tan of 90 minus theta is nothing but cot theta, right? So this will give you cot theta. So instead of tan 90 minus theta, you will have cot theta, and theta is 1 degree over here. So cot 1 degree multiplied with this tan 1 degree, right? Tan 1 degree, you can see cot is reverse of tan. Then this unit, these two quantities, these two trigonometrical identities, when multiply with each other, then tan 1 degree will divide this cot 1 degree completely, and we have 1 as your answer, right? So this will happen for the two terms, right? Similarly, you can explain that tan 2 degree and tan 88 degree is making a complementary angle, right? So you can show that, yes my dear friends, that yes, tan 2 degree multiplied with tan of 88 degree, right? It will give you tan 2 and cot 2. It will give you tan 2 degree and cot of 2 degree. How? Because this is as per the relation tan 90 minus theta is cot theta, right? So here also this can be proved as equal to 1, right? So just make a pair of 2 and 88, 3 and 87, like that. Then all this LHS will be coming as equal to 1, right? So we can use this concept to solve, right? Coming quickly to the question number 2 for today. Okay. Question number 2 which we can take is that, suppose we need to find the value of, let us say some question is given to you where the complementary angle concept is used. The question is that sine a square, let me take it like this. question number 2 for today is that sine square 22 degree plus sine square 68 degree, right, divided by cos square 22 degree plus cos square 68 degree, right, plus sine square 63 degree. You can also put up your doubts into the chat session, my dear friend, right, plus cos of 63 degree into sine of 27 degree. So whenever such questions are coming to you, don't get panic, my dear friend. Okay, just see that this 22 and this 68, right, when you can see 22 plus 68, what is the value? It's 90. Complementary angle concept can be used over here because 22 plus 68 is 90. So this can be done easily, right? Similarly, also here you can see 22 and 68 giving you a complementary angle concept, right? Now here 63 and 27, this will give you a complementary angle concept. How? Because 63 plus 27 is 90. So my dear friends, I'm not going to solve it and not take that much of time, but yes, sine square 22 degree is as it is, and sine 68 can be written as sine of 90 minus 22, right? So this will be the value of sine square 68 degree is equal to sine square 90 minus 22. Sine 90 minus theta, you know, sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. So it can be written as equal to cos square 22 degree, right? So sine square 22 plus cos square 22, right? So before going forward, just one more thing which I just forget to recall, to just revise initially. These three formulas also you need to remember, right? What are these three formulas? That is sine square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. That you need to learn, right? And cosec square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1, and sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1, right? So my dear friend, hi Avinash Shankar, hello, hi. So this also you need to remember. Now quickly coming to the question number third for the today's session. Question number third, right? Question number third, which can take it. So how this will be solved, you know? Okay, using the complementary angle concept, such questions can be solved very easily. Just make a pair cos 63 and sine 27. Sine 27 can be written as cos of sine of 90 minus 63. So that will be cos 63. So this will giving you cos square 63, and already there is sine square 63. So sine square 63 plus cos square 63 will be equal to 1. So in this way this can be solved. Okay, I'm not going to solve it and taking that much of time. Coming quickly to question number 3. Let us take few more questions, but before that I want to give you a minute and angle concept over here. Hello Abhishek Sonkar, hello. I got your waving hands, right? So the question which we can take is that sine of 30 degree and 17 minutes. What is the concept of degree and minutes we will be seeing over here, right? And cos of 59 degree and 43 minutes, right, is equal to how much, right? As we know that the things which you need to remember, that in 1 degree there is 60 minutes, right? 60 minutes, right? And when there is a concept of seconds, in 1 minute there will be 60 seconds, right? So here you can see 30 plus 17, right? 30 plus, so here you can see 30 plus 43, right? Let me explain you how sine 30 17 and 59 43. You can see 30 17, so it's degree and it's minute, right, for the sine, and here 59 degree and 43 minutes. So when you just add it, my dear friends, you can see in the degrees you get 89 degree here, right, 89 degree. And if you see into the minutes, here 17 degree and 43 minutes, right, you can see 17 plus 43 is nothing but 60, right? So you can see 60 minutes is equal to 1 degree, right? So you can write it at 60 minutes, and into the next step it will be coming as equal to 90 degree, right? 89 degree plus this 1 degree, right? 89 plus 1 is equal to 90, right? So this you need to understand what is the concept of degree and minutes over here, right? So if, and also sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta. Hi Avinash. So here you can see that if sine 30 minus 17, use the concept of sine 90 minus theta is cos theta, right? So here this can be written as, this can be written as, if you just convert this sine into cos or this cos into sine, anything can be done, right? Either you change the numerator or you change the denominator, right? So sine of 30 degree 17 minutes can be written as sine of 90 minus 5943, right? Because this is the complementary angle, this is the complementary angle to the above. 5943 is the complementary to 30 degree 17 minutes, right? So sine of 30 degree 17 minute can be written as sine of 59 degree 43 minutes, 59 degree 43 minutes, right? This can be done. How? You see here, because 90 minus sine of 90 minus theta will be cos theta, right? So this will give you cos of 59 degree 43 minutes, right? Divided by here cos of 59 degree 43 minutes is already there into the denominator, right? So here this will, you can see this will be cancelled out, right? And you will get your answer as equal to 1. So what is the value of this one? This will be equal to nothing but 1. 1 is your answer, my dear friends. You can solve it very easily, right? So coming quickly to question number 4. Let me change the paper once, please. So the question number 4 for today, question number 4 for today is that if I will go into the details, write the value of, write the value of, suppose the question is coming at, write the value of tan square theta minus sec square theta, right, by cot square theta minus cosec square theta, right? So you know the value, you know the identities. Okay, cosec square theta minus cot square theta is 1, and sec square theta minus tan square theta is 1. So minus can be taken as common from here, and you can see we are left with sec square theta minus tan square theta, right? And here also into the denominator minus can be taken as common, and you can write cosec square theta minus cot square theta. So whenever such questions are coming in front of you, na, then just see why this pattern is changing. Okay, that you need to think. If this pattern is changing, then definitely you remember that sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1. But how tan square theta minus sec square theta is equal to 1? Don't go into the evaluation, don't go into the calculations. Okay, just see what the minimum thing which you can do. Here you can just take minus as out of this, minus can be taken as common into the numerator. Similarly, minus can be taken common from the denominator, from both the terms, right? Right. So this will give you like this, and you know sec square theta minus tan square theta is equal to 1, and you know cosec square theta minus cot square theta is equal to 1, right? So this is equal to minus 1 divided by minus 1, which is equal to, which will be cancelled, and you will get your answer as equal to 1, right? So such questions can be solved very easily, right? And another question which I can take it is that, suppose question number 5 for today, question number 5 is that again the complementary angle concept is used. What is that? If tan theta, no, let us take this question. If cos of certain angle is given to you, that angle is b, is equal to 4 by 5, right? Cos of b is, no, not 4 by 5, it's given 3 by 5 into the question. right? 3 by 5. Now the question is that, and a plus b equal to 90 degree, find the value of sine a. It's given that this one, and it's also given that a plus b is 90 degree. That means complementary angle concept is given to you, right? Complementary, these angles a and b are complementary. Complementary, that means, what does it mean? If you're taking the right angle triangle, right, that means one angle is already 90 degree, you know, right? Then definitely these two angles will be complementary, because the sum of the remaining two angles will be 90, because sum of all the angles is 180 degree. Sum of all the angles is 180 degree, and this is 90 degree. So that means if this is angle a, this is angle b, then we can say that a plus b is nothing but equal to 90 degree, right? Now if a plus b is equal to 90 degree, then use the concept of sine 90 minus theta equal to cos theta, cos 90 minus theta equal to sin theta, like that. Okay, so the question is that if cos b equal to 3 by 5 and a plus b is 90 degree, then what is the value of sine a? So here you need to find the value of sine a. So whenever you have any doubt in solving these complementary angle questions, just draw at the triangle, okay, into your rough, maybe in front or into the rough, anyway. Whenever just map the angles, then you will get a clarity that yes, what will be the value, okay, and this complementary angle concept can be triggered directly into your mind if you are not able to recall during the examination. Anyway, what is the value of sine a? Don't get panic, be cool. Sine a, that means this angle need to be found, right? But there is no relation given for a, the relation is given for b only, right? This is b. So my dear friend, if a plus b is 90, can we write that a is 90 minus b? Can we write it from the second relation? A will give you 90 minus b, right? If a is 90 minus b, can we replace this a, which is given with sine, with 90 minus b? Then sine of a can be written as sine of 90 minus b, right? And this will give you sine 90 minus theta is cos theta, so this will give you cos b, right? So what is the value of sine a? This was the question. What was the value of sine a? Sine a is equal to no, nothing, no, my dear friend. Sine of a is also equal to cos b, and is value of cos b is given as 3 by 5, so equal to 3 by 5. And one more hint I want to give before going forward, that if these ratios are given to you, you just think into your mind, what is the ratio of cos? Cos is basically base by hypotenuse, right? So the base will be 3. So here if you see the angle, if this is angle b, this angle is b, then this will be, the numerator will be your base, so this will be 3, right? And 5 is your denominator, that means it will be the length of your hypotenuse, right? This will be equal to 5, right? And accordingly, by using the Pythagoras, you can just find this value. In this way also you can put up the value and evaluate the value of sine a, okay? So vice versa, if you are knowing the value of cos b, put up the values over here, find the missing part, missing side of the triangle, and then you know the relation of sine, cos, tan, sec, cosec, cot, okay? Just make a ratio, okay? Just make a ratio, and you can see that values can be easily evaluated, okay? So quickly coming to the question number 6 for today's session, my dear friend. Question number 6. So the question number 6, which we can take it for, if root 3 times sine theta is equal to cos theta, and theta is an acute angle, it's given that theta is acute, what is the value of root 3 times sine theta equal to cos theta? What is the value of theta? So my dear friends, it's very easy, you remember the values, okay? Sine by cos is tan, so you just bring cos from RHS to the denominator of LHS, and here push root 3 into the denominator of RHS. You know the value of 1 by root 3 for tan when it is happening it is happening for this value is definitely, as I said, you need to remember the five values for 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. Five values if you remember for sine, you remember all values of sine, cos, sec, cosec, cot, tan, everything. So tan of theta is 1 by root 3 and it's given into the question theta is acute, then definitely you know the value of tan 30 degree is 1 by root 3. So theta can be said as 30 degree being an acute angle. Though this was a very simple question, but you need to understand the concept. Okay. So question number 7, which we can take for today, is that two flights are running. Okay. The question is that a flight, not two flights are running. Basically, a flight is given to you. A flight is given to you. Though I already, you can go through, if you have time, you can go through the playlist. You have the question. This question we are taking from height and distance. Okay. Where a flight is running, just flying. Okay. So in 15 seconds of time, it changing its position from A to B. Right. So flight reaches over here in 15 seconds of time, right? So the time taken to fly from this point to this point A to B is 15 seconds. 15 seconds. Now the question is that if the angle of elevation from a point of observation, let us say the point of observation is O, for the initial point of the flight of position, the first position of the flight is A. If the is given that the angle of elevation is changing from 45 degree, which is the elevation of point number A, then gradually at point B, the person is standing over here at the same point, right? And you can see the flight standing over from the same position. He can see the flight reaches over here, and the angle of elevation reaches to 30 degree, right? And it's also given that the height of the flight is, height will be the perpendicular distance, right, my dear friend? So this will be given to you, and this is given to you as 2500 meter, right? If this is given to you, to solve such questions, it is asked into the question, what is the speed of the aeroplane? What is the speed of the aeroplane? So you know, speed is distance by time, right? What is the distance covered? You are not knowing it. You need to evaluate from point A to point B. What is the distance which is covered? This will be your distance, right? So this distance can be evaluated. How? Just take this right angle triangle, the first one, with angle 45. You calculate this length, right? Because you are knowing one of the sides of this triangle. This is 2500 meter, which is the height, 2500 meter. This one, you are knowing that tan 45 degree is 1. You know the relation. You get the length of this part. Now this part is evaluated from O to a point which is directly below the first position of the plane, right? This is evaluated. Now if this is known, my dear friends, what we can do, we can just take another triangle where the 30 degree of, inclination is given to you. Just take this triangle, okay, the bigger one. When you just take this triangle, my dear friend, then here also the height is of position A of aeroplane is 2500, then definitely the height of B will also be 2500. So you are knowing this value, my dear friend. You are knowing this value. You are knowing the value of the perpendicular. This is equal to 2500, right? 2500 meter. And you are knowing that this angle is nothing but 30 degree, right? So tan of 30 degree will be equal to perpendicular by base, right? You are knowing the perpendicular 2500 meter. you are not knowing the base, and the base will need to be evaluated because it's given that the flight is changing its position from A to B in 15 seconds of time. So speed equal to distance by time. You know the time, you are going to evaluate the distance only. You already calculated O to this point. Then using this red triangle, you find this position, let us say O to P, right? Because tan of 30 degree is perpendicular by base. You are knowing the perpendicular, base can be evaluated, right? So when you are calculating OP, and let us say this is Q, right? Is it already known to you? Then AB can be written as OP minus OQ. OQ you already evaluated from this right angle triangle, right? OQ you already evaluated from this triangle, and OP is evaluated from this triangle, right? Put of all these values over here, you find the distance AB. If you know the distance AB, speed equal to distance by time, so distance will be equal to AB, and time is given to you as 15 seconds, right? So divided by 15, you got the speed by time, you got the value of speed, right? Distance by time, you got the value of speed, right? So in this way you can see this question is solved, my dear friend, right? So quickly I've taken a question of height and distance, but yes, in a separate session I will take up height and distance questions separately. Okay, so this is question which we can say these are concluded. If you want, I can some take more from the top of a 7-meter building. Okay, these questions will be of 5 marks. Okay, but yes, if the simple concepts will be coming, then definitely it can come into lower marks also. But anyway, you need not to go into that. Okay, what was the question number? It was question number 7. So let us say question number 8 for today. Let us see. It's given that from the top of a 7-meter building, from top of 7-meter building, it's given from a top of a 7-meter building. So let us draw a building over here, okay, and make it A or B, right? And the length or the height of this building is 7 meter, right? Now this is building. It's given that from the top of a 7-meter building, this is the top, this is the top. From the top of a 7-meter building, angle of elevation and depression of the top and bottom of a tower is 60 degree and 45 degree. So definitely if this is the ground, my dear friend, and this is a building, then tower will must have been standing on ground only. It will not stand in air. Otherwise you need to build some platform. Okay, so it's given that this is the tower, right? It's given into the question the angle of elevation, that means when you are looking upward, depression will be when you are looking downward, right? So it's given that the angle of elevation and depression of the building. So what will be the angle of depression? The angle will be always forming with respect to the horizontal, right? So here parallel to the horizontal line will be this line, right? Now it's given that the angle of depression is 45 degree from the top of this building to the base of this tower, because the angle of depression will only be found when looking downward. So from here you are looking downward into this direction, right? And when you are looking upward into this direction, this will be angle of elevation, and this is given that this angle is nothing but equal to 60 degree. Now the data which is available to you into the question, you are knowing AB, you are knowing 60 degree elevation angle, you know 45 degree depression. First see how much data is given to you into the question before handling the question. Okay, this is given to you. Another data, what is, it has been asked what is the height of this tower. So my dear friends, Whenever this is coming, you just see where are the right angle triangles in your question, my dear friend. Where are the right angle triangles? No, not seen over here. Because if it would be point number B, from here the observation will be happening, then you are directly saying, yes, this is 90 degree and we are making a right angle triangle. But yes, you need to think the question, okay? You need to visualize the picture. If you just extend this line, you can see this is a right angle triangle, right? You can see here, this is also a right angle triangle. This is also a right angle triangle. And here this angle will be 90 degree, isn't it? Though you are imaginary, this will be an imaginary line. You are extending it and meeting it over here, right? But you can see this is a right angle triangle, isn't it? This is a right angle triangle. You know one of the angle, you are knowing one of the height of this triangle. That means if A to B is 7, then definitely from this point to this point will also be equal to 7. So if you are knowing one of the ratio and one of the angle, then it's very easy to calculate remaining sides of the triangle. You are able to calculate AO, you are able to calculate maybe A to P, right? Because you know the relation, you remember that yes, sine, cos, sec, cosec, cot, everything you are knowing for all these five angles. Which five angles? 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, right? All this you are knowing, my dear friend, right? So use this concept, apply the trigonometrical ratios over here, find the missing part. Okay, to find the height of this tower, you need this length. You need this length. It's already known to you, 7, right? So using this, calculate this length A to this point. Maybe let us say this point is C. Calculate AC. How AC can be related? AC to PC. AC to PC is nothing but base by perpendicular. So this will be base by perpendicular is given by which trigonometrical ratio? Cot. So take the value of cot 45 degree to calculate AC by PC. This will, the value of cot 45 is 1, right? So AC can be written as 1 into PC, and PC is nothing but the height of the building. Okay, height of the building is nothing but 7. So AC is calculated as equal to 7, right? AC is calculated as equal to 7. So that means from here to here, this distance is also 7 from B to P, right? This is 7. Now if this is known to you, then AC is known to you as 7, then you are knowing this angle. Are not you able to calculate this length, this one? How? You know the trigonometrical ratio, which ratio will giving a relation between this perpendicular and this base, because you are knowing the base. This will be tan. So use tan of 60 degree. Tan of 60 degree is nothing but root 3. You need to remember, right? Tan 60 degree is root 3, and you are knowing this base. Perpendicular is not known to you, right? So perpendicular by this 7 base, which you have already evaluated from here, just put the value and get the value of P perpendicular. So when you just know the value of this P, just add it with 7. This will give you the complete height of the tower, isn't it? You will get the height of the tower. So these questions can be solved very easily, my dear friend. Okay. Now quickly coming to question number 9 now. Question number 9 for today's session is that question number 9 for today's session. Okay, we have completed 40 minutes of our session. Very quick. So let me take some more questions, maybe some multiple choice. If 2 of sine, the question is that if 2 times sine of 2 theta is equal to root 3, this is the question. If 2 times sine of root, It's given that 2 times sine of 2 theta is equal to root 3. Then question is that what is the value of theta? So my dear friends, when these questions are coming to you, you just find the value, just put the constant into the other side of the equation and find the value of the trigonometrical ratio. So here you can see very easily the value of sine of 2 theta can be written as root 3 by 2, isn't it? And when this root 3 by 2 is it's just seen in your picture, right? Immediately you remember, oh, root 3 by 2 I got. This is the value of sine 60 degree. This is the value of sine 60 degree. Now into the next step, you are very smart to handle it, right? Sine 2 theta is already there into the LHS. When you just remove the sine from here, I'm not giving you the concept of arc sine or anything. So when you remove the sine over here, you can get that 2 theta is 60 degree, right? So we can say that yes, 2 theta is 60 degree, and when you just solve, you get the value of theta as equal to 60 divided by 2, which is coming as 30 degree. So your answer should be, my dear sir, my dear examiner, my answer is theta equal to 30 degree. Okay, you should not tell into the examination, otherwise they will catch you. Okay. Yeah, you should write all this into your paper only, right? So with this we have completed question number 9. Let me change the page. If we may take some more questions. Just any doubt you can put up into the comment box, my dear friends, don't hesitate. Question number 10 for today. Question number 9 is done. Question number 10, yes. Question number 10 which we can take is that, let me see, trigonometrical ratio we almost covered. Yes, let us take this question. 1 minus sine a. Yes, I was about to revise this concept, but yes, I'm anyway, let me take it. It's given that if 1 minus sine a by 1 plus sine a, this ratio is given to you, right? This ratio is given to you, no, that need to be evaluated, and that is the question is that there are four options with you. One is sec a plus tan a, sec a plus tan a. Hi Partha Patel. Sec a plus tan a. Another is sec a minus tan a, and the third option is sec a into tan a, and the fourth option is none of these, right? These are the four options given to you, my dear friend, a, b, c and d. So which will be the correct option? That need to be evaluated. So my dear friends, when this question is coming to you now, just see this square root sign is there. If root sign is there, immediately think that how to convert all this into a square, so that only the trigonometrical ratio will come out of this when the square form will be there inside the root, right? So what we will do, just rationalize it. Why rationalize? As you understand, we have already solved already the questions from the real numbers test. Just to rationalize, we need to rationalize the things just to get the square, right? So that we get the form of a minus b square or a plus b square, like this. So here the question is that 1 minus sine a by 1 plus sine a. So this is already there. So into this root, just multiply with the conjugate of this 1 plus sine a. So plus sign is there, so you will be seeing into the denominator multiply with 1 minus sine a. Why we are taking a conjugate? Because 1 plus sine a, 1 minus sine a, that is into the form of a plus b, a minus b. This is the ultimate agenda, right? So this will give you a square minus b square. So 1 plus sine a multiplied with 1 minus sine a will give you 1 minus sine square a. 1 square minus sine square a, which is basically, cos square a. So anyway, if you are multiplying this into the denominator under the root, then definitely this should be multiplied into the numerator also, because this you are inserting, that is not already present into the question, right? So when this will be done, you get a value. Wow, you can see 1 minus sine a is coming 2 times into the numerator, so this will give you 1 minus sine a whole square divided by into the denominator 1 minus sine square a, 1 minus sine square a, basically 1 square minus sine square a, using this formula a plus b into a minus b, which is equal to a square minus b square, right? Just remember this. The same is applied over here into the denominator, right? Now this will give you 1 minus sine a whole square under the root. That means what will be coming out? 2 times this is under the bracket, so only 1 minus sine a will be coming out, my dear friends, into the numerator. And into the denominator 1 minus sine square a, remember sine square a plus cos square a is equal to 1. You remember this, right? If this is known to you, you can easily evaluate 1 minus sine square a, because when sine square a going into the RHS, then 1 minus sine square a will be equal to cos square a, right? So it will be cos square a into the denominator, and when coming out from the root, it will be cos a only, right? So this will give you 1 by cos a minus sin a by cos a, right? So this will give you 1 by cos a. You know, my dear friends, don't tell me I don't know it. 1 by cos a is sec a, yaar. Sec a, and sin a by cos a is tan a. So our answer is sec a minus tan a. So which option will be correct, my dear friend? Which option will be correct? A, B, C, or D? You say this option is correct, my dear sir, and you will get full marks into this. Just follow each and every step. You have, if you are able to explain the formulas, how you are getting it into the bracket, you can write, yes, this formula is used over here. Not a single marks, not a half marks will be deducted, my dear friends. Okay, but how to write, just explain the things, whatever is in your mind, just put it into the paper. Okay, okay, this need to be explained very very clearly. Anyway, let us come to question number 11, because we have more time in 1 hour, around 13 minutes left. We are running this session since last 47 minutes. Anyway, so any question you can put up into the comment. Hi Shaim Anwar. Hello Partha Patel, Avinash Sonakar. Hello. So let me take more questions. The one thing I want to give you a brief idea is that when the question is coming in front of you, that yes, prove this equal to this in the identity, I mean to say, explain what I want to explain is that, yes, this question is very good. Let me take it up. It's given that if tan of theta is equal to a by b, this is given to you into the question. If tan of theta is equal to a by b, what is the value of a times sine theta minus b times cos theta whole divided by a times sine theta plus b times cos theta. Though you can easily understand that when we will divide by cos into the numerator and denominator, you will get tan, and tan theta can be easily put, the value of tan theta can be easily substituted over here, and you get tan at this place and this will be cancelled, tan at this place and this will be cancelled, right? So we'll get a minus b by a plus b, like that. But my dear friends, what I want to recall you over here is that if this is given to you and you want to, this is an easy question, but some more sec theta or cosec theta or any kind of some complex identities relations are given over here that we need to prove, right? Then, and if that certain value which is given to you is tan theta equal to a by b, into before solving such questions, if you are going into, you are not able to understand, you can directly draw the right angle triangle here. You can directly draw the right angle triangle, and it's given that tan theta is a by b. That means if this is theta, then definitely perpendicular will be here a, opposite to theta, and this will be b. Just calculate this one also, hypotenuse, just calculate, right? If you are knowing the value of a, b and h, so whatever is given to you into the question, na, from this you can just see the triangle, put up the value, see the triangle, put up the value, see the triangle, put up the value, see the triangle, put up the values. Okay, so if any complex question is coming in front of you, where you are not able to identify how to move forward, you can just draw the right angle triangle, find out the values of sine, find out the values of cos, find out the value of tan, then definitely cosec, sec and cot is also identified, right? And whatever is given to you into the question, just put up all those values over there, right? Using this because you are knowing the triangle, you are knowing the perpendicular, you are knowing the base, you are knowing the hypotenuse, right? Perpendicular square plus base square. Just use this, and whatever the identity which is given to you into the question, just put up the values directly into it. Okay, you will able to get your answer. So this is the thing which I want to highlight. Earlier I missed it. Okay, so just see the right angle triangle and what are the quantity, what are the trigonometrical ratios which is given to you. Just go for it. So we have seen 11 questions today. Let me take one more. I remember yesterday also we have taken 12 questions. But anyway, we'll take more and more if the time allows us. Because we are on 52 minutes of time now. Anyway, question number of 12 for today's session, revision session, is that we can take, if you're not putting your questions into the chat, then I am taking up my questions from my own. Okay, then you must be thinking I'm taking easy, right? No, don't think, my dear friends, I'm here there to support only. Anyway, let me take one more question. We did some height and distance, we did some trigonometrical ratios. I think, right, cot theta equal to, yes, that's fine. If I will say, let me take actually, it's given that tan theta, it's given that if tan theta, that we need to prove tan theta by 1 plus tan square theta whole square. This is the application of the formulas. Okay, the three relations which we are having: sine square theta plus cos² theta equal to 1, sec² theta minus tan² theta equal to 1, cosec² theta plus cot² theta, cosec² theta minus cot² theta equal to 1, right? So the question is that tan theta by 1 plus tan² theta whole square plus cot theta divided by 1 plus cot² theta whole square is equal to sine theta cos theta. That need to be proved, is equal to sine theta cos theta, that need to prove. So my dear friends, you can see, whenever you're seeing 1 plus tan square theta, whenever this square is coming over here in front of your eye, just recall the formula: sine square plus cos square 1, sec square minus tan square 1, cosec square minus cot square 1. This should immediately float into your mind whenever this square is coming in front of you in your question, right? So let me write it: sine and cos, this is sec, and tan, this is cosec, and this is cot, right? Anyway, now here 1 plus tan square theta, 1 plus tan square theta, you can use this relation. Yes, this will give you sec²θ, isn't it? So if this is giving you 1 plus tan²θ as sec²θ, you can just replace it over here, right? Sec²θ, right? And here it is the square, so it will be sec to the power 4, right? Just bring the sec²θ can further be written as sec power 4 can be written as into the form of tan, right? But see what is the values over here. So whenever this question is coming to you and if you are not able to proceed forward, just draw a triangle, just draw the right angle triangle, so that this is the right angle triangle. Okay, this is my perpendicular, this is my base, and this is my hypotenuse when this angle is theta, right? And using this, put up the values over here and evaluate the LHS. You will get certain things into the form of PB and H. Similarly, when you just evaluate the RHS and put up the values using this triangle, you get the relation values into the form of PB and H, right? So you can show it like this also. If you are stuck, then only you can go with like this, right? So with this, we have evaluated solved 12 questions for today. Let me take question number 13. Question number 13, which we can take it as, if you want, I can solve it in another way also, right? Tan theta by 1 plus tan square theta, which is sec²θ. So sec²θ power 4, right? Here also cot square 1 plus cot square theta will give you cosec²θ. So that can be done. If you want me, I can. Otherwise, you can do it. Just solve it. Put up the values. The second question, which we can take it for today, is that prove that sec²θ, that is easy question. You can solve it very easily. Yes, if A, B, and C are the angles of a triangle, that is a complementary angle concept which we already did. A, B, C are the angles of a triangle, right? Then we need to prove angles of the triangle A, B, C. Then these are the corresponding angles. The question is that prove that tan of C plus A divided by 2 is equal to cot of B divided by 2, B by 2. So my dear friends, it's given that A, B, C are the sum of the angles of any triangle. That means what is coming into your mind? A plus B plus C is equal to 180 degree. Isn't it coming into your mind? Right? If not, it should. Right? Anyway. So A plus C is given into the LHS. You can see A plus C. So A plus C can be substituted as 180 minus B. Isn't it? Tell me yes or tell me no. The answer should be into the binary format only. Right? So A plus C is 180 minus B. Then this tan of C plus A by 2 can be written as this tan of C plus A by 2 can be written as tan of, instead of A plus C or C plus A, write 180 minus B. So this will be 180 degree minus B divided by 2, right? This will give you tan of, if you divide 180 by 2, it will be 90, and is B by 2 as it is, right? We know that, we know the formula. What is the formula? That should be coming into your mind. Tan of complementary angle concept, tan of 90 minus theta is equal to cot theta. This should float into your mind here, because this is your RHS, right? So tan of 90 minus B by 2 will give you, this will be theta over here. This is your theta, my dear friends. This is your theta. theta is b by 2. A, b, c, whatever is coming in front of you in that format, don't get puzzled. It's your theta. So theta is b by 2 over here. Tan 90 minus theta, cot theta. So your answer will be cot of b by 2, my dear friend, cot of b by 2. And this is your RHS. This is your RHS, right? In this way we prove that LHS is equal to RHS, right? So we are not going to close it on 13. Let us take one more question, question number 14 for today. This will be the last question for today's session because we already completed 1 hour. So the question is that prove that sine of 70 plus theta. Question is that prove that sine of 70 plus theta minus cos of 20 minus theta is equal to 0, right? This we need to prove. So before the final question, solving this final question of today's session, use the complementary angle concept, right? 70 can be written as 90 minus 20, isn't it? And after that this theta will be here, right? And put sine over here as it is, right? And leave the cos of 20 minus theta into its format, right? Then you can see sine of 90, consider all this angle as theta, right? If this angle is considered as theta, then you can write at 90 minus, minus is taken as common, then we have 20 minus theta into the bracket, isn't it? Then again sine of 90 minus theta is cos theta, right? This sine of 90 minus theta, this is into the form of sine of 90 minus theta because theta will be little bigger over here. This is 20 minus theta, my dear friends, 20 minus theta, right? So anyway, before proceeding forward, let me write what is given here into the second term is cos of 20 minus theta. And here sine of 90 minus theta is basically nothing but this theta is this one. This is 20 minus theta is your actual theta, my dear friend, right? So this will give you sine 90 minus theta. Definitely something coming in your mind, cos theta. So this will be cos of 20 minus theta, right? And with a negative sign, this cos of 20 minus theta is already present over here. Come, my dear cos, I will cancel you out, right? Then this cos 20 minus theta plus of cos 20 minus theta will be cancelled with minus of cos 20 minus theta, and you will get your answer as 0, my dear friends. In this way we have solved the last question for today's session, my dear friends. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you Saim, thank you Partha, thank you Avinash, thank you my dear friends. All the best for your examination. Keep your preparation into the top momentum. See you into the next class. Bye bye, take care, happy learning, see you.